Sure is.
Okay.
Good afternoon, good evening, everybody. I hope everyone's doing well. Great to see everyone here. Lovely to see all the usual faces. Everyone's diligently here on Sunday. I really love that. All of the royal team. Hi to all of you. That's as usual a fantastic turnout. I think Lisa, Donovan are on. Ken, Sito, I saw as well. So lovely to see everyone. Great to have you back. And of course my great wonderful friend and partner and brother Nadeem. Um, at some point you're gonna have to change GoPro to your name. I don't actually see you skiing down slopes very often, so um, I don't know if all of you have been paying attention to what's been going on in the market over the past week. There really have been it's been a quieter week. I think Bitcoin sank a little bit down to 35, and it's been hovering between 35 and 40 over the week. And I know people are watching it anxiously. I think don't worry so much. Don't look at the price every single day and drive yourself nuts. It'll take its course. I think this will be a great year. And yeah, I thought maybe I'll touch a little bit on what maybe we can expect for the year, at least with regards to crypto. I think this is something that all of us would, we've got a crystal ball, and we can actually tell the future. That'll be great. But using all the tea leaves that we've had from 2020 and the years leading up to this year, I think it's easy to make some very safe assumptions. One of the things that's been going on of late, that's been gathering a little bit more speed, is this whole conversation about the great currency reset. As you know, the United States, UK, Japan, quite a number of countries have been printing currencies like it's going out of style, right? They're printing that, and you've got Biden coming in, and he's got a 1.9 trillion dollar package that he's about to send out to salvage the economy. Now, all this printing, it's trillions and trillions of dollars of printing. Everyone's afraid, that it's going to lead to a massive collapse. You're going to have not just inflation but hyperinflation, and that's a very dangerous thing. Whether it happens or whether it doesn't, it's not for us to say. It's very, very difficult. I think all the economists have been predicting this all the way from 2012, and every year they expect a great collapse because no economy can sustain this much printing, and yet it's continued to defy logic. Why it's gone up so? Why the economy hasn't collapsed, and why the stock market has gone up this high and been able to absorb all of the printing is, I think, beyond anyone's explanation at this point. There is some explanation about how the money doesn't exactly go out directly into the community. It goes into sort of a holding that banks can then match and then lend from. So the money doesn't exactly go straight to banks, but we're not really certain what's actually happening. What we do know, however, is that the flight to gold and the flight to crypto will continue as long as money is going to be printed in this form. Now, I touched upon the fact that the stock market is at extreme highs, and it can continue to go. It can continue to go through April, through I don't know for whether it can go much longer than April, but let's assume it keeps going up to record highs, and then we start trading at 40 times and 50 times. Who's to say it can't happen? So those are unknowns. What is known, however, is that Bitcoin, Ethereum, the major cryptocurrencies have started to gain momentum and gain institutional market share. recognition, more than just from bit players. Over the many years that we've been involved in crypto, it's always been individuals who have been feeding the frenzy. But you've got serious institutional players today, and they are pouring funds in at approximately $1 billion a quarter, and I think this is going to accelerate this year. So I think that's going to make a huge difference. And there's an expectation that Bitcoin can potentially become kind of a currency, and it may make greater inroads in that space. Again, there's this discussion about whether Bitcoin is a currency or what exactly is it as a tool. Well, it's if you look at it as a product of stored value, a little bit like gold, and you view Bitcoin specifically in that regards, I think it's very, very safe to put some funds in crypto, if not a greater share of your portfolio. So I think that's very likely the direction that Bitcoin is going to head in. Vaccine is being rolled out. I think it's nearly 1 million doses that have been issued, that have been given out in the UK, and Biden's got a big plan to roll out 100 million vaccines in the next 100 days. So let's see if we can achieve that. But the vaccine will have no impact on crypto. The crypto really isn't tied so much to the economy. And so as the economy starts to open up and markets perhaps respond well, I don't think it'll affect crypto. It will, however, continue to grow because that snowball effect with institutional investors will just keep growing. I think we're going to be looking at $2 billion, $3 billion a quarter being injected into Bitcoin. So that will continue to fuel its rise and ensure that it's got fundamental support. So it will end up serving as a hedge towards the fear of inflation. Ethereum 2, I think, will come out sometime in the later part of the year, and Ethereum 2, I think, will fuel a new frenzy with better blockchain, more development in the space of DeFi, probably even more stable coins. On the subject of stable coins, I'm sure you know that there is a lot of controversy around USDT, right? Tether Inc. was investigated sometime in 2019, and there is no outcome, right? Again, as a comparison, XRP was investigated only a month ago and it collapsed 70%. But one of the things Tether has said is that in reality, USDT isn't backed dollar for dollar, or at least the one USDT is not backed by a fiat dollar or by an asset of that amount, which is a bit telling because USDT usage, I think crosses the $20 billion mark on a very regular basis, almost on a daily basis. So it seems to be sitting on air with no fundamentals. But again, if you think about it, the US dollar is maintaining its strength again with what fundamentals, right? On the strength of the word of the government and the Fed. As are many currencies today, nothing is backed, and so therefore USDT isn't backed as well. It's a very backed as well, which makes it a rather unusual stable coin because it's maintained its solid $1 level for years now, even with the investigation having moving into its second or third year now. I think, however, regulation will get tighter. Governments are going to continue to try to, get their hands into our wallets and to try to figure out, what kind of monies we have and see whether they can extract taxes from us. And I think that's certainly not going to change. Regulatory intervention is just going to be part and parcel. It happens in India, it happens in the US, it happens in Japan. It is very tightly controlled in multiple markets. So, that continual battle is going to keep happening. What is certain, however, is that central banks and countries' economies they're going to be issuing their own cryptocurrencies. You've seen Facebook with their Libra project, and obviously you've seen China with their digital yuan. So I think that's a momentum that isn't going to change. I think what it does mean is that cryptocurrency is here to stay. Again, it's the start of the year. We all make resolutions. We all should also use this time, sit back and pause and try to assess and figure out what's happening for the year ahead. We've all come through a very tumultuous year. 2020 was something everybody was happy to leave behind. And so 2021 seems to hold a lot more promise. But it could be the year a dip in the market may occur, which means a severe recession might happen. And that could be something that, if it really does happen the way economists predict, then it might be something that we will all suffer from. That might be very difficult to come out of. Now, that's really my observation for 2021, what I see ahead. But what I think we're all here for to talk about, obviously, is EasyTron. And as I said last week, and I want to reiterate this week, EasyTron will continue to be a stable platform, something for you to utilize to earn money, not just for yourself, but for the community that you're working with. You have to view it in this manner. And the profit that you earn is paid to you immediately. Take that profit out and place it in, I'd say place it in Ethereum, place it in Bitcoin. Don't place it in USDT. Certainly don't place it in XRP. Polkadot is now the fourth largest traded token in CoinMarketCap. So I think there's a lot of strength in the cryptocurrency market. We are in the right place. We are in the right space. You have to utilize this to make sure that you earn a sizable amount of money. And again, there are a number of plans out there. All of you have heard of all the different plans, and we've got many members who are close to us, who are a very big part of EasyTron, and they've kind of, moved on to some of these plans. Now, I must say many of these plans are ROI plans, and from my observation, anyway, they are already in some difficulty, despite being only a week old, 2 weeks old, 1 month old. All of these ROI plans are struggling. The systems that they operate on have broken down, so they've been requesting for resets or downtime, a week long, 2 weeks long. It's really hard to say. So I'm again, we've never stopped anyone from, look, we can't stop anyone anyway, can we? So, everyone's always attracted by greener pastures and shiny new things. Just keep your eyes open. Do be careful. Remember, ROI plans are very, very dangerous. So you've got to take everything that comes across your table with a pinch of salt. As much as you've been made promises or promised, given the promised land, or whatever the case might be, please just be careful. That's the message I wanted to bring to you this Sunday. Uh, I think from the day we've launched till where we are today, EasyTron hasn't wavered. It hasn't changed. We promised you a strong platform, a strong contract. There is no leakage in it. Everybody remains safe. And remember, all the payouts will end up in your wallet. What you do with that money is kind of where I'm coming from. Use it wisely, invest carefully. I would say, especially at this point, it's exciting to put your money in Tesla. It's growing at thousands of percent. It's phenomenally exciting, but real world business is very different to the market that we're in. So that's sort of my message for this Sunday. There are a number of things I want to announce for EasyTron, but again, we've come out from the holidays, and I know it's already 2 weeks into the new year, and we've been a little bit slow with further developments. We've only got the academy up and running. We have been able to, I think, at least show your total investment or involvement in EasyTron as an amount, and we wanted to get a bit of a marketplace up and running for you. It's something that we will continue to work on, again, because it's a very costly affair, but we will get that to you. That was our promise, and I'm hoping we'll have another one or two really, really good announcements for you over the next one or two calls this month. For now, I would very, very much like to invite my dear, very close brother Nadeem, alias GoPro, to come on the call, and I think he's got a few words for everybody as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Nick. By the way, I've already changed. To my name as well, so I'm logged in.
Really? It's the name that I know, and the name that I know and love.
See, already there.
It's still GoPro,
No, I've got two accounts. I'm logged in on two accounts.
All right.
Okay. All right, Nick. Thank you so much. Hi, everybody. Really, thank you for. I hope you had a wonderful year. New Year a couple of weeks ago. 1 second. Hold on. It's okay. Lisa, it's okay. I've done what I need to do. Don't send me requests, because I want to make sure that my voice is fine, and I think I'm on a laptop, so I don't want any disturbances. That's why I'm just making sure that the sound is good. Just change to gallery view. That's how I like. Okay. Hello, everybody. Thank you for coming in today. I think you guys are doing a fantastic job. We see a lot of people every Sunday. And last week I was supposed to be on, but I had really bad connection, so I couldn't get through. But I see a lot of new faces. I see a lot of new people. Donovan, hi. We got Carlos on the call. Carlos, I hope you're having a wonderful time, brother. We got Brian, Toby. Wow, we got so many new people. We got the Royal team as usual. Ken, how are you? Mr. Mia from London. Excellent. Okay, so I've got all the people that are key leaders who are on the call today. I'm going to touch base on a few topics. I think Nick's covered a few things. Guys, the crypto market is going crazy. Honestly, the way it's moving right now, Bitcoin, Ethereum, everything is going really, really, I think on a scale that nobody ever thought of. I think if you asked yourself a couple of years ago, you would have not even thought of reaching these numbers, $40,000 plus. I'm sure if any one of us here on the call had Bitcoins, we don't hold them anymore, because the only thing was we did not ever believe that it's going to reach 40,000. Always, there were people that used to keep saying it's going to be 50K, it's going to be 100K, it could be $1 million. But how many of us really believe? Honestly, ask this question to yourselves. if you are holding Bitcoins right now, maybe 10, 20 that you bought it, maybe a few $100 each, or maybe a few $1,000 each, or even at $10,000, I'm sure you're not holding them. You might have your limit would have exhausted at maybe 15,000 or maybe 20,000 or maybe 25,000. At some stage you would have thought, I don't think it's going to go above that. But it's broken all the records. And who's the one that has really benefited from this spike? Who's the one who has been able to sell this at 40K or 42K that has been the all-time high? There's only two kinds of people that have been able to actually cash out the maximum. The first type of the person is who had bought Bitcoins and forgotten about it. He never knew he had Bitcoins. He just left it. And he never thought of selling them at any stage. So he's the guy who has actually been able to cash out at the peak or the real top peak. Or the second person who had the vision of selling it at 40,000 or maybe 50,000. He's the one who's been able to do it. So there's only two kinds of people. One who did not know anything about it and just was holding for the sake of it, or maybe he's forgotten about it. He was the one who cashed out at the peak. And the second one who already knew that it's going to touch there, or he was into the game so much that he believed that it's going to hit 50K, had the full compassion in it, and never sold it in between. Now, where did the other people go? Think about it. All the other people that were in there 50-50, they were not able to go till the peak. I wouldn't say even 40,000 is the peak. Maybe it's going to hit 100,000 in the next few years, or maybe next few months. Maybe it's going to hit $500,000 in the next 5 years. So you are going to be deciding the limit that you want to reach or you want to hold it up to. Similarly, you got to understand. Now, if you ask me, for example, like 3-4 weeks ago when it was hitting 40K, I had a lot of friends who called me and said, Nadeem, should I buy the Bitcoin now? So I said, no, it's too high right now. You think you should wait for a nice dip and then you should buy. So when the nice dip came, it hit about 32,000. We all saw that, right? It was about $7,000, $8,000 less. The same guys, I called them and said, guys, if there's a dip now, you should go and buy. So you know what the response was? Is it going to go further down? Should I wait more? Now it's the same person that was willing to buy at 40K is now reluctant to buy at 32K. He wants to wait for further dip to come. You understand? That is the psychology that we all human beings are trained. Today we have so many people saying, I wish Bitcoin came back to $5,000. I will sell my house and buy Bitcoin. But believe me, when it hits 5,000, you will not be able to buy at 5,000 because the circumstances around the $5,000 mark, the news or, the updates will make you believe that it will probably hit 2,000. It will probably go 1,000 or it may just go down to zero. So that will stop you from buying it at 5,000. But what happens at that time? It's those people that have trust in it, have faith in it, have belief in it, or they have the power to make it big themselves. They pick it up at those prices and actually go and fund their wallets with thousands and thousands of Bitcoins. And once they hold it, they either wait for the right time because the world keeps evolving. It's never been always negative. It will never stay always positive. It will keep swinging between negative and positive all the time. So they take advantage of that and keep that funds aside in the form of Bitcoins and forget about it and wait for the right time to sell. And when things become positive again, they are able to make profits and huge profits, not small. So same way, guys, this is now up to you. If you are new here in this industry of smart contracts, you got to understand one thing. We've been networking for so many years. We see compensation plans being changed by companies, by owners, by CEOs. Whether it's for the betterment of the people or not is a separate question. But it does get changed, it gets evolved. But why people like smart contracts? Because the compensation plan can never change. That is the first thing. So if you're one of the people that has joined in the beginning, maybe around 5 months ago, and you feel seem to be bored with this compensation plan, I'm sorry, guys, that's how it is. It's unchangeable. And we human beings are like that. We like new things, we like to explore stuff, but unfortunately, smart contracts are designed for things not to change. So the reality is compensation plan cannot change. Can the company or the creators change it? No, they can't. There can be no amendments now or ever that can come in the compensation. Now, what was the second biggest point that people love to join smart contracts? Because everything was automatic, everything was not controlled by a individual. But nowadays, again, what's happening? The trend is changing. Now, I or you cannot control the trends. Now, the smart contract trends, there's a lot of ROI based plans that are coming out. Recently, I like to be specific. Recently, there's a plan that's come out again, promising trading profits, etc. 50% going in smart contracts, 50% in trading profits. But how many times, ask this question to yourself, how many times have you seen companies which promised you trading profits on a daily basis and they were able to deliver day in, day out for every single person? Now, I myself am a trader, professional trader trading. Even I cannot make profits every day, guys. This is the honest truth of the industry. If I am telling anybody that I make profits 365 days, I am not mentioning about the percentage, how much. I'm just saying that I have an account, for example, with one Bitcoin. And I'm saying that it will be always closing in a positive side or in a plus. Even if it's 1% or 0.1% a day, it will stay positive. I cannot promise you that, guys. I know traders that are in the industry, not talking about crypto, I'm talking about Forex, which is even longer. Even that industry traders who are in the system for 20 years, 30 years, they cannot promise every day positive. So the question to ask yourself, if that is a possibility of negative, how can somebody give you positive every day? Or even promise you to give you a positive every day? That is the question number one that you got to think. If that is not happening, okay, there are people that will argue with me saying that guys are making risk or they're going to pay you, etc., etc. Now, just imagine if you are I'll give you an example of gambling because people can relate to it. If you're in a casino or if you're in just playing a lottery ticket, right? If you put 10 rupees, or sorry, $10 or maybe $20 in the casino or on a lottery ticket, and you play a game and you lose it, how much is that going to hurt you? $10, $20? Is that the end of the world? No, right? It's okay. We can afford to lose $10. But now flip this to $1 million. Now you have $1 million sitting on your casino table, and now you got to play your game. Or you got a lottery ticket which is worth of $1 million. What's your mind going to be like? What's the thought that you're going to have in your mind? It's not going to be easy, guys, because 1% of loss on $1 million is going to be huge, right? It's going to be a lot. And then these companies are promising you that they're trading on not one, but they're trading with hundreds of millions of dollars. So that means that 1% loss is actually $1 million loss if they have 100 million on the trading bots. If any strategy it may be, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, it's at risk. Now, the reason why people like smart contracts is because their funds were never managed by others. Because we all have got experiences where we lost money, where we either somebody took it and ran away, or somebody lost it for you, or in trading they lost it, etc. Many reasons. That's why we like smart contracts. So there will be people coming to you with other smart contracts, which are now going back to the older version, but giving a mask of smart contract. But the smart contract has nothing to do with what they are saying. Because if I have $1 to invest, 50% that gets distributed on a smart contract is only 50%. The remaining 50 is going into their possession and back to the old school that we did not like. So if you like your money to be managed by others, it's your choice. No problem. But again, here, for example, in EasyTron, if $1 comes in, $1 gets distributed to everybody. But over there, $1 comes in, 50% is distributed, and the remaining 50% is in their possession in the form of trading, which they promise that they're going to pay you back on a daily basis. So if they pay, good for you. If they don't, then you got to think if that's how you want to pursue. Second, smart contracts, again, as I said, is not easy to execute. I don't want to get into technical details, but it's actually an algorithm that is written, and these smart contracts have their own languages. I mean, if I'm trying to create a website and I want to put 100 conditions on a formula, it's easy because it's a language that is recognized and it's already developed in the market. However, when I say so many things, when for example, I talk about EasyTron, when Nick explained me everything, and when we saw all the possibilities and the way we pay the commissions, etc., it took a lot of time for IT to write the smart contract because the language is specific to the smart contract. So it's a Tron contract. So Tron has its own language that has its smart contract has to be written in. And whatever you have to manage in the form of commissions, it has to be written in the Tron language that the smart contract understands, and it has to follow certain guidelines. So they are very much restricted. It's not an open-ended, I will say, language of C plus or or the other HTML languages or anything that you probably know of. It's a different way of writing, so there's a lot of limitations. So when we try to put more conditions, for example, if I say EasyTron right now, as soon as you join, you get 10 levels. Let's say if I wanted to change the compensation plan a little bit and say, okay, everybody that joins get 2 levels, and as soon as somebody starts recruiting people, he opens new levels. So level 3, level 4, level 5. So if you got 10 directs, you get 10 levels deep. Suppose if I wanted to build that in the contract. Now that is an excellent thing, but that is very difficult to build into the smart contract because the longer the smart contract, the more lines it's going to have. The more lines means the contract has to check more things. When there are more things to check, there's more gas fees involved. So when you or me try to sign up, the contract has to go through a lot of, yes and no questions, and then exactly go and execute the contract. So at the execution, there's more gas fees. At the execution, the chances of bugs or errors increase. So the best contract is the one that is the smallest. So the lesser lines you have, the lesser you will be able to the errors will be less. When I put too many conditions on a smart contract, there will be chances of high errors, and the execution will be difficult. That is why you see there are so many smart contracts that have launched, but they are not able to either get a correct website, or they have issues on registrations, or they are overloaded, or they are not able to execute whatever they promise on their presentations, because the smart contract is very heavy and is not able to do what it's supposed to do. And this is, again, the biggest thing. We saw so many. I think when EasyTron was starting, parallelly, we had a company called P2 that was launching. Then there were others that were launching. We had Lionshare that was launching. You have seen so many contracts in the market that launched after EasyTron. How many have you seen that have launched flawlessly and they are still working now? I haven't seen one yet after us. They came, everybody had their own glitches, own problems, and they are still trying to resolve them. So guys, as networkers, are you going to spend time trying to resolve technical problems? Or as a networker, you want to do network and you just keep focusing on creating your own network? I think I would want to do the second choice. So EasyTron may not have everything that others or new versions that are coming in are having, but at the same time, what it's having is one of the best. So the choice is yours. It is working for the last 5 months or so. It's working flawlessly for almost, I think, everybody. People who are working are getting paid. People who are moaning of not getting paid are at the same time not working. So even for example, if I am not working myself, I don't get paid. But if I keep moaning with people that I'm not getting paid, I'm not getting paid, the smart contract is designed in such a way that you will get paid if you work or your team works. So if you're lucky that the team below you is working without you, then you will get paid if you're supposed to get paid. I cannot change it, I cannot amend it. And this is the reality or the real truth behind everything, guys. I think all of us get demotivated at times, seeing that okay, we are the ones that are working so hard. We don't see others. I do get calls from other leaders as well. They want to see more involvement. Guys, this is good. I'm saying again, it's amazing. But at the end of the day, everybody is in here for themselves. We are all one team. We are all doing anybody that extends the call and tries to connect with me or Nick or any of the top leaders for support. I think 100% the support is provided. But if you say that the leader has to do things on his own, if that was the case, I think this whole world would have been a different place. We all have bad habits, and we all have to help each other, you know, move over them or overcome these bad habits and move on. So let's not talk about negative things. Let's focus on the positives. If there's something good in me or something good in you or something good in another leader, I think we need to pick that up and see what we can do best with it. Share best practices. I think it's a very, very important thing to do is to keep communicating, keep talking to each other, because at the end of the day, we are all human beings. We all find that sometimes we feel demotivated. So we all need a dose of motivation or encouragement at times. I think that is very important. Our, the program that we have selected has got no problem. Everyone that has been in the business and has been working is getting paid. I got paid. Nick gets paid. Others are getting paid. Carlos gets paid. Brian's got paid. We all have. Now, if people are not following the strategy of upgrading the accounts and not following the strategy of building the team, which is the only two things you do in this system. You upgrade to as many steps as you can, and you got to help build your team. And then your team will do the same copy and paste, copy and paste. If you're not doing these steps, I'm sorry, then I can't do much about it. I cannot recruit people for you. Yes, there is a possibility of automatic matrix placement, but that is, again, not in my hands. There is an algorithm that is set. If you're the one who's in the next slot to get someone that falls in, you will be placed automatically. You don't have to ask or you don't have to wait for me. So, end of the day, you got to realize one thing. How much you make from EasyTron or this smart contract and how fast you make from this. Both depends on yourself. Not me, not Nick. We are the creators, and I still remember when we started this contract. I think personally we recruited over 120 plus leaders worldwide, and that's how our networks grew so fast. And it was like a nightmare. I can tell you, my eyes. I wasn't able to sleep for over 3 days, 3 nights. Carlos knows it was a kind of I think chaos all over. All the teams of the management, all the leaders, everybody wanted to get in first, get in first, get in first. Well, I think that is the same excitement that people need to have whenever they come in, because your team starts from where you stand. Once you've joined, your position is where you start getting paid from. That's exactly what we need to do, what we did for the first 30 days ongoing, Zoom calls, business. You saw there were so many, calls that were happening on a weekly basis. We now also have a lot of leaders doing Zoom calls. The management calls numbers have reduced. I think it's Thursday and Saturday now, one English, one Hindi, because again, we need to have participation from everybody so that we can see more and more people. Let me tell you another thing. There's a big event that's coming up in February as well. That is being put up by the royalty from Agra in India. They are doing a massive event in their own city. So they are already working for it. The tickets are done. We've got the main top leaders here already. I will be attending that particular event as well. So they are doing it for their teams. They are doing what they can. Because nowadays I know because of COVID, etc., it's difficult for people to do physical events and all that. But everyone's doing what they can in order to, build the momentum, build everything. We are always available. I was a bit busy in the last few days for my friend's wedding, but I'm free now. If you need me at any point, I'm always available for Zoom calls. Lisa is always there answering everybody. If you need any kind of support, we are more than happy to help any one of you. But remember one thing: new things will always keep coming in the market. I am not the one to make a judgment over saying you, okay, you don't do this, you don't do that. I think that's a judgment or a call that every single person has to take on their own. But if you ask me, or I did also hear rumors that people were spreading that Nick has been introducing people to other things. Guys, I can tell you, I am not involved personally on any other project except EasyTron. Neither Nick is doing the same, and I know many leaders here on the call that are not doing anything except EasyTron. So if you find anyone saying these or making these false claims, just pick up the phone and get that person on the line with us, and we'll deal with it. Pass on the details to us if there's any misinformation that anybody's passing, because this is how they try to trap you into other things. There are people who will create accounts with our names, which were nothing to do with us, or even your leaders' names, etc. And they will say, okay, these guys have already joined. See, they are not letting us. They don't want their names to be out. No, please do not fall for any sort of traps, because it's our own people that are doing this. People from EasyTron that started are doing all this nonsense, going around doing it because they are not capable of doing their own recruitment. So they play all these false tricks, and they try to second people into their system by giving all these false claims and making all these rumors. So please don't fall for any of this. We are always there, available. If you need any support, any help, anything you want from us to build your teams, or you need some guest appearances, or need some training, for example, or need any support requests or anything like that, there might be sometimes delay in replying because we are busy or something, but we will always be there. Same applies for Nick. If he's busy at times, he may not reply, but 9 out of 10 times, I think he's always available whenever required. So I know we keep talking about developments, marketplace, etc. But trust me, guys, the plan as it is amazing. It does not need anything except your focus and your hard work. Anything that comes after this or above this is a bonus. Keep that in mind. Your plan is sellable as it is, as how it is. EasyTron right now. A dollar comes in, 50% goes to Easy One, 50% goes to Easy 10. That's it. This is how the plan is sold. Anything that comes over and beyond all these things in the future, maybe now, maybe a month or 2 months later, is going to be a bonus. You got to understand. My brother Carlos, he was the one to pick up this point in one of the meetings. And he said, Nadeem, our plan is so good as it is. Why do we even need all the other things? As it is, it's one of the best plans on the planet. Which company pays you 50% direct? Ask yourself. 50% of the commission that you get somebody in. And then you got paid up to 10 levels, 3 by 10 matrix, automatic placement, 88,000 people in your matrix. How many of you have even achieved 1% of that yet? None. So, what are we really on about? We need to find the right way to do the plan is we take an account, have the highest step as possible, and then help your three, then three, then three, and three. That's how it is. I still remember we had a call with Steve, and I asked him what would be the best strategy. So he said, the answer he gave to me was the best strategy is to find one and then keep repeating this over and over again. And he's so true. You don't have to find three, you have to find one. When you have your one, then you keep repeating the same process again, again, again. So when you're with your new guy and ask him, well, if he asks you, what should I do next? You say, just find one person that can join you. When he brings that one person, then say, okay, now let's repeat this again and find one person. Then let's repeat it again. Let's find one person. And then you keep continuing and you get better to it and you will bring more and more and more. That's all this business is all about. If you think about it, in any sector, any business model that you know of, which business model pays you without doing anything? Whether it's construction, if you don't have any sales of flats, you're not going to make anything. You keep building as a builder, you keep making buildings, high rises, houses. If nothing's getting sold, that means no investment coming in. What commission are you going to make? Zero. What profits are you going to make? Zero. All the other businesses that we've been involved in the past, they try to, kind of attract us with ROIs, which are unrealistic. 0.5% a day, 1% a day, 2% a day. Those are unrealistic, and we know this. We have realized this now with experience that these are not true. All they're trying to do is circulate money. And we then are we become the triggers because we are the ones who go and bring people in. We promise them this, that, blah, 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 the whole world, and nothing actually gets into. A few months later, the company doesn't exist, everything is gone. What they had in with them also gone, and you don't make anything at the end of the day. Maybe 5% or 10% commission is why you do this, and for 10%, you actually put 100% at risk. At least we have satisfaction in EasyTron. There's nothing, no miscommitment. It's a very straightforward plan. I'm not promising any ROIs. We are not promising anything. It's a business model that automatically pays as long as you work. If you don't work, it doesn't get paid. So I think, having said that, with Tron, I was in contact with one of a very good friend of mine. Is a huge trader. Tron right now is at a breakout stage. Breakout means the analysis is in the next few months, you can see Tron from where it is right now. It can go up to maybe 5 or 6x. Because at the moment, it's about 80, 85 Satoshis. People who understand it's about 3 cents approximately. But if you look at the charts, in 2017, Tron has hit over 2,400, 2,000 plus Satoshis. So from 80, the all-time high is about 2,000 Satoshi. That is almost 20x. 20x. Now, just think about this. Right now, if you talk about a market, if we talk about a commodity market of gold, when gold is going higher, sooner or later silver will follow, bronze will follow, all the other metals will start to follow. Same way right now, there's a huge rally on Bitcoin. Huge. People did not even think about it. As soon as Bitcoin is going to become stable, there will be definitely a rally on altcoins. Altcoins are Ethereum, Bitcoin Cash, Litecoin, XLM, many, many. There are thousands. But I'm saying just focus on the top 20. Just the top 20. And Tron is one of the top 20. And you will definitely see, a big correction in the price of Tron. Because next month, I think about, you got time until 28th of Feb. So all the wallets that we have right now in Tron Wallet, I'm not talking about Tron Link, but Tron Wallet, if you're using, you will see there's an upgrade option there. You got to change and upgrade your wallets. So Tron is already upgrading the wallets because for sure Justin's son has been quiet. But if you read about him, he definitely is looking to bring something big in the next few months. And that's why he's upgrading the wallets. That's why he's upgrading the blockchain of Tron. All these are indications that you will see a spike in Tron price. I am not saying it will, but these are indicators that we get in the market. And at the moment, Tron seems to be at the rock bottom, really bottom price. I'm talking in Bitcoins, not talking about USD, but in Satoshi is really at the rock bottom. Even when we started EasyTron, and there was a kind of, I would say, a bit of a rally in Tron, the price was around 350 to 400 Satoshi at the time when we started in September. So today it's at 80, about 80, 85. So if it just go back to the September stage where it was in for Tron, you would have made 5x. 5x means if you earn $5,000 from EasyTron and just hold them to that particular price, your price in Bitcoin has already gone 5 times. So if you earn 1 Bitcoin, it will change to 5 Bitcoins. So your target, I think, if you're smart enough, being in crypto, should not be US dollars. Your target should be to earn Bitcoins. Because Bitcoin is what you can hold for a long term and make a lot of money. You don't have to necessarily hold Tron. But right now it's at the rock bottom, so it's time for your people to come in and upgrade and do all of it at a cheaper price. Because that will earn all of you Trons at a cheaper price. And then once you've earned them, just hold them in your wallet for the next 2-3 months. Forget about them. You will definitely see a spike in the Tron price of Satoshis. So if it's at 85 Satoshi now, let's say you earn 1 Bitcoin at today's price, and then Tron goes up to 5 times. You would have straight made from 1, you will make 5 Bitcoins. And then imagine in the long run, 2-3 years, how much is worth of 5 Bitcoins? Huge. If it's already hit $40,000, don't you think in the future that right now it's 0.001% of the world population that is still in crypto right now? With that percentage, if Bitcoin can hit 40K, imagine when we'll have 1% of the world in crypto. What's going to happen? Imagine when we're going to have 5% of the people in the world turning back to crypto. What's going to happen? We have achieved the 1 trillion mark in the coin market cap last month. So we have hit 1 trillion. And the largest industry of all is Forex, which is 7 trillion turnover a day. We have 1 trillion in crypto right now. And we hit 40K. So when we are equaling, for example, the Forex markets, even let's say 5 trillion, I assume Bitcoin's going to be over $100,000 under easy circumstances. So if you're able to make 5 or 10 Bitcoins and hold them for the next 5 years, each piece can go over 100K. How much money you have? This is the right vision that you got to have, because this vision is going to take you long and it's going to multiply your effort like crazy. Rather than handing over your money to others and letting them trade in your name and all that, that's all not something I would want you to do. It's easy just to go and buy some Bitcoins and hold them for the next 5 years. You'll make the same amount of money, at least risk-free. That's the best way to do it. The reason I choose EasyTron is because, one, I'm going to be coming into the system, then I bring in people in the system that quickly make me out. And if we all just keep following the plan, 1:3, 1:3, 1:3, we make a huge army. At the same time, people are not losing. Everyone's got a clear head on day one what's going to happen. and they all know how the business is supposed to be done. That's, I think, the best way forward, and I think this is one of the best programs that we are on. I think if you've got any specific questions, please don't hesitate. Send them to Mrs. Lilac. Maybe we can cover this on the next call, or maybe on the next call that we'll be here, and I think we can try and elaborate more. We'll put more trainings. I'll be on more calls this week and next week as well. If you need any help from my side, I'm always available. I think you guys are doing a fantastic job. We still have about 100 people on every Sunday call, but please try and fill up the calls during the week as well, because that is really important. Donovan is there every week doing calls. Brian does calls. We've got Steve that does calls. Carlos does calls in different languages. We've got, sorry, the Royal team that does calls every day. They have a big event coming in February, so we'll see some more momentum at that end. We got Mr. Mia who does a lot of calls. Alambai does a lot of calls from UK. So everybody that's working hard, please share your work with everyone so that everybody knows what's going on. I think a bit of silence around from your side as well makes people a bit anxious, which is not good. So if you're doing something, please do share with Mrs. Lilac so she can kind of share with other groups, and that's how we can kind of start to bring the momentum back and help each other. So sorry, my voice is going now. So thank you very much for tonight. I think today was a helpful call. It was more knowledge for you to understand how this whole thing works. I will continue to give you the information as and when possible. Thank you. Bye bye. Good night.
Okay, everyone. Thanks for the updates, Nadeem. And looking forward to more development updates in the coming weeks as well. Okay, guys, do continue your calls. I'm very happy to see that all of you are still continuing on the platform as well. And I'll see you guys next week again on the Sunday call. Same time, same place. Okay, everyone. Thanks for joining me tonight. Good night. Have a good one. Take care. Bye.